I'd been out like to all my friends and stuff for 3-4 years, so it was kind of just normal to me. And then all of a sudden, you know, I get triple my Twitter followers and like seeing all sorts of people from across the world writing headlines. So yeah, it definitely was strange enough. But
so you had mentioned it to family and friends.
Yeah.
And then was there a time that you just felt was right, that you thought, now's the time to tell my teammates, or did they know, or just tell the media?
Oh no, the teammates knew already, because, you know, like, it would have been, you know, public knowledge in Dublin. Like, if you knew me, you'd probably know. So then the teammates were great with it. They never had any issues. They were all really supportive, so that was good. And then Leinster were putting on a Pride seminar, so I got invited to sit on that if I wanted to, and I said, yeah, you know what, I will. So.
And what's it like? Listen, I've been in those change rooms, and listen, I think the guys would be 100% supportive, but there is banter and change room banter. Like, is that something that you've encountered? Is it something you might feel that you need to call out, or do you kind of just get on with it?
I think they probably knew when I was coming up that maybe we changed some of the topic of the jokes if they were doing it before, because, you know, it wasn't really a thing that I had to call out. Like, you know, if someone said something, like 99% of the time they've just had to slip them out, and you say it to them, and they're like, sorry, yeah, I messed up there. So then you never hear it again from them, which is good. So yeah.
So that's the sort of thing I suppose everyone is trying to learn. You know, it is from a place of love.
Yeah.
So for you to be like, okay, so this is the way it is, and it was your life, and I suppose an awful lot of people mightn't have realised that you were just out to everyone. It was when you decided to do this conference that it's like, okay, to the rest of the world. Now, since then, Jack, because, you know, you had to do an awful lot of interviews at that time, and you had just kind of come out to the media. How has it been in the year since? What's the reaction been like since then?
Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, I've gotten loads of really positive messages on Twitter and Instagram, and you know, people would say to me sometimes, they'd just be like, oh, I'm 14 or 15 and I play rugby, I'm gay or I'm bi, and, you know, thanks so much for that. So that, you know, it really makes it worth it, because at the time I was thinking, like, you know, if it makes one kid feel better about himself or herself, you know, that'll be worth it.
Well, I think this, of course, is so timely because it follows on from the news about Nick McCarthy, another Leinster player who just came out yesterday as well, and
came out publicly, and he talked about how his teammates have known for ages. Like, he told them a few months ago. A
little bit, and like what Jack said as well, his teammates, his friends have all known for a long time as well. But I suppose there's a thing about coming out to your teammates, which is obviously a big deal, but also coming out in public and having to speak about it too. And I think that Jack just spoke so eloquently there, and how incredible. He is the trailblazer. Like, he is the first rugby player to come out while playing, to come out as bisexual, and I think he is going to open up the door for the likes of Nick McCarthy and other teammates to come into that brotherhood in Leinster. I think that it's amazing to see that Leinster rugby, they lead it off the pitch, but are on the pitch, but off the pitch
as well.
To do that.
Has it changed, Tommy, from the days you were playing rugby? Like, was there ever suspicions about some players that maybe...
It's even weird to use that word, suspicions.
Yeah,
you know,
but
so
no, isn't it terrible? That's like
I know.
But was there ever talk among yourselves like that person might be gay, and I wonder, is he going to come out?
Yeah, there would have been definitely certain players over the years that you might have wondered.
Yeah.
And I remember it came up with one particular player, and they denied, said no. And the thing is, and listening to Nick McCarthy or reading his interview yesterday, he said that he feared that he was going to have to retire from rugby before coming out. He wanted to come out. He said he struggled to come to terms with it himself personally. And when he came to terms with it personally, he didn't know what to do. And he said, I was going to give up rugby and then tell my story. But I think the fear, Alan, it's like anybody coming out. It's about what are people going to think. And I think what Jack has shown and what now Nick has shown as well, that actually coming out to your teammates, there's nothing but love, nothing but support out there.
To know.
And I think that these guys who are going out there and trailing, and like
being the first on the first
massive
line, if you can see it, you can be it. And for kids to be like, okay, always thinking that sport was this macho place full of straight men, it's in no way that at all. Of course, like, statistics just let us know. And it's so great to see these guys, and such, you know, proper macho guys.
Yeah. And you just want the supporters to get behind them now for that next big
match.
I think
now, everything you've seen,
just,
Alan,
like, massive rounds of applause for these people to come out on the pitch, and that's that I think will be the next hurdle for him now, just to, the next match he plays and just to get that over with.
He's been out for over a year.
Yeah.
And he's had nothing but support.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
from
well,
supporters.
But now,
and Nick the same, and you would imagine it would be the same. And listen, this is like you talk about macho and rugby players. Like rugby, I think, kind of lead the way in this.
Yeah,
and you think that Gareth Thomas, former Welsh international captain, is come out openly about being gay. Nigel Owens was a rugby referee, the best referee in the world, has been open about it, and now 2 Leinster players as well. And I think that it's only a positive thing that people, if they are hiding something away, it can't be good for them. And there is a brotherhood and a team within that rugby community.